EG Technology Screens. Now, our company was attacked because a YouTuber by the name of Jamie Fernando Gonzalez attacked our company, made all kinds of false accusations, said we're scammers, rip-off artists, our products are made from Home Depot paint, stuff like that. So, we are in the process of taking the individual to court. First thing is going to be lawsuit. After that, it's going to be basically for criminal charges and so forth, because this guy has broken just about every rule you can think of in the book, because for some reason he feels he's untouchable. Now, we had to contact ICE about 5 times, Homeland Security, due to the fact that the individual, again, not documented, carrying on and acting up, breaking all types of laws here in the United States, even stealing from companies and profiting off them, and then basically goes on YouTube and starts screaming and ranting, he's an American citizen. I'm an American citizen, you can't do this, you can't do that, blah, 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 you're racist, so and so and so. All right, Jamie, well, we have here an email admitting that you are not an American citizen. First thing, I found the email on my phone that I was looking for. Here, at the bottom of the email, and to show you where the email came from, we're going to go to the very top. The email that was sent to us yesterday by Jamie Fernando, actually today, around 6:43, we received this email on the 26th of 2026 for Jamie Fernando Gonzalez, who sent this over, Crow 1176. He sent this email over to discourage us from going in and filing a lawsuit and criminal charges with the courts against him. Let me go here. There we go. That is his official email right there. Now, in this email that we received from Fernando, he goes on and on to talk about how we are fakes and phonies and all these things. And he says right here, he says, let's see, don't delete. Right here, for the point says, don't delete, don't delete, be scared, whatever, about deleting our videos. We have tons of videos showing that we basically don't delete videos, but we have a lot of them out there, Mr. Fernando, a lot of videos about court. Don't be scared. One other thing, he doesn't write too well. One other thing, say I am an illegal alien, correct? That I am here not illegally. Now he's saying here that he's a United States citizen. He's saying that he's here legally, that he does have paperwork here. It says I am an illegal alien. I am an illegal alien, correct? That I'm here not illegally. So how are you going to serve a person that has no records, and doesn't exist in the United States? Now you see how you put down U.S. United States? Same email we have here that was sent to you on my phone, trying to discourage us not to file. Right here, this is from Fernando, and this clearly says, do you understand that unfortunately Jamie tried to speak as an attorney, as another person? Because here you can see he's speaking as another person. Do you understand that unfortunately Jamie Fernando is a U.S. citizen? See the abbreviation for U.S.? See the abbreviation for U.S.? It's the same person. Exact same person. Capitals in the middle of sentences, same person. But Fernando tried to come off like an attorney. Do you understand that unfortunately, how's it unfortunate to be an American citizen? You kind of made it sound like, oh, it's horrible to be an American citizen. Boy, it's trifling to be an American citizen. That's really what you said, unfortunately. It should have been, unfortunately for you, he is an American citizen. That's what you should have wrote. Yeah, okay. American U.S. citizen. You can get in trouble. It's called citizen fraud. If you basically are found guilty on this one. Jamie is a United States citizen, which now is opening up charges against you on false information, on individually defamation, and the U.S. Citizen Act. Now, we looked this up. It doesn't exist. It's a non-existing. It doesn't even exist. So you're opening up charges, but you clearly stated here that you said that, how are you going to serve a person that has no records, but that's there, has no records, doesn't exist in the United States? How would you not exist in the United States? Let's go down here at the bottom, right here, where he admits it right here. He says, you don't have any patents. Well, we'll prove that in court we have patents and copyrights, or copyrights, so enough. Plus again, illegal aliens don't have papers. He just called himself an illegal alien. Again, illegal aliens don't have papers. Yeah, you do, Jamie. First things first, when you come here and you get your citizenship, you will have papers. You get a social security number, you get all that. You get enough documentation. You get a visa, people get visas, they get green cards. You would have one of them or the other. So you would have paperwork. You have to have paperwork. There's no way in the world that America's going to allow people to come here from any country and go ghost over here. You know how dangerous that would be if a terrorist came over here and just poof, went ghost with the intentions to blow up schools and government facilities? That'd be dangerous. Everybody who comes over here has to have identification on them, has to have papers. Just like if I go to your country, I have to have papers. First thing I walk through freaking customs over there, papers. They got to know who the freak I am. They can't have anybody walking into their country at the end of the day. So you guys watches too much TV. So he says right here, you don't have any, again, you can't, it's patents. I don't know what the heck you were writing there. Patterns, what are you trying to spell? Or copyrights with an S, supposed to be an S there because we have two of them. So enough, plus again, illegals. He said illegal aliens. Illegal aliens don't have any papers. I don't exist. Which means he's pointing to himself. I don't exist in the United States. You just told on yourself. You didn't say we, she, he, they. You said I, as preferring to you, don't exist in the U.S. So if you don't exist in the U.S., that means you're not a United States citizen. If you're not a United States citizen and you don't have proper paperwork, that means that you are undocumented. You just told on yourself right there. And it also shows that you were contact to us preferring to you as an attorney. Because the way you put this down is, do you understand that unfortunately, Jamie Fernando is a U.S. citizen. You said it is a U.S. citizen, but right here you're saying I don't exist in the United States. Which one is it? There's no way in the world you can come to this country at the end of the day and not have you documented. You have to be documented. Everybody has to be documented here. It's part of the rule of being a citizen. If you're a citizen of Japan, you're documented for Japan, England, whatever country, citizenship. Fernando doesn't have a grasp on how things function in the real world. This is what happens when you live in the land of make-believe all day long. You don't have an understanding how the real world actually functions. Fernando, you're going to be in a courtroom pretty soon, and you're going to have to face reality. And reality is going to be very ugly for you. It's going to be a very, very ugly nightmare. But thank you for sending me that email, because that email is what we're going to use against you to prosecute you on several levels. One, touching our product without permission, clearly having videos, claiming our product to be nothing more than Home Depot paint. We have multiple demonstrations that rate back from you messing with 12s, 39s, 38s, 7s, 8s, showing a track pattern of you going and doing these malicious demonstrations claiming our products not to work. We have picture demonstrations where you posted my pictures all over the internet, calling me racist, calling me homosexual, including Mr. Williams. You're going to be tied in this too, because we're going to make sure we mention your name along in this multiple times. You had incorporated other people with your shenanigans. Mr. Rogers was involved with you because he showed some Crowcast. You guys are all talking about this nonsense. Oh yeah, we're going to definitely bring Crowcast in this. We also too have Mr. McAfee, also too, is involved in this. So guess what? Get ready for that the other day. It's called conspiracy. You know, conspiracy, I told you, conspiracy carries 10 to 20. So you get 10 to 20, including the time that you're going to have already added to that. And he's involved with the post office. That's even more crazy. Yeah, so it's a mess. And Jamie's going to snitch like a canary. He is. But Jamie already admitted, it's right there. You admitted, you said, I don't exist in the U.S. We know where you live at, right? You're quite aware that anyone can find your address on an LLC where you live at. And pretty much, we already seen where you try to fake and fool your customers, including, I'm not your customer, but me, telling me that you moved. Moving Such a Pain, I think it was in 2023, I think it was something like that he had. Yeah, was in the apartment, the same apartment the whole entire time. See, that's what I'm telling you about. This is a sneaky person at the end of the day who tries everything he can to try to persuade things in his favor. He just lives like a huge lie. Jamie lives one big, huge lie. There are people like that. They live at the lie, at the lie, at the lie. They fake it every single day. Now it's caught up to you. Now the difference is, Fernando, you're going to be in the courtroom. This doesn't change anything for you at all. All you did was just give me more evidence. The email I sent back to you, I was like, how dumb are you at the end of the day? Why would you even send me anything like this to begin with? The day before we file against you, you send me this? You know how much evidence is in there now? That backs up everything from your email of what you did, matching pictures and demonstrations and YouTube. It's catastrophic what you did to yourself. And then right there, you literally say, I don't exist in the United States. Unless you're some top agent, spy, or some really high official, military officer, whatever, where you have to go, they have to black out your files and stuff, you know, these really high-level entry guys at the end of the day. Unless you're one of them, but you're not one of them at all, period. So, you just told on yourself several times in that email, I don't exist in the U.S. And then right here saying, try to refer to himself as an attorney contacting us. Or when we get to court, Fernando, that's why I'm so happy you're going to be here. When we get to court, there are so many questions my lawyer is going to ask you. You can't go anywhere. You're going to be strapped down in that chair at the end of the day, and you're going to have to swear oath on the Bible, and you're going to tell everything. Every single dark secret that you kept deep down inside that you hope no one would know about, we are going to know. We're going to get all that information out of you. And when we're done, it's going to be posted to court records where everybody can read everything about you. We're about to expose you, buddy. And this thing right here is a citizen fraud, by the way. You just said right here that you're a United States citizen, right? Look right here. Clearly stated, his fake attorney. Do you understand? Unfortunately, Jamie, I think it's a bad thing to be a United States citizen right there. Unfortunately, Jamie Fernando is a United States citizen. And then right here, he states over here, I don't exist in the U.S. You don't have any, this is supposed to be patents, by the way, you can't spell, or copyrights, so enough. Plus, again, illegal aliens don't have any papers. I don't exist in the U.S. Actually, that's supposed to be one sentence right there. You don't have to. That could have been one whole sentence right there. Now, everybody knows somebody who basically has come here on a visa or whatever, scholarship, whatever at the end of the day. Jamie, every person here in the United States who comes over from another country has to have papers. Every person has to have papers. Whether you're going to have a passport, they got to stamp your passport for that approval, work visa, visa for school, stuff like that. You're going to have some kind of documentation here, something here. They can even, while you're here, get you a temporary, or they can get you a Social Security number. You can get a Social Security number easily. You get your citizenship to give you a Social Security number. You have to have one, because without one, you can't access anything without a Social Security number. You have to have one. So what happens to people who come citizens here in the United States? They're just walking around with no documents? That's insane, because that means if a person can come over here with no documents, nothing on them, nothing at all whatsoever, that means they are not really a citizens of the United States due to the fact that they don't have proper requirement ID to obtain certain things you're going to need to live here. You know, you need ID for an apartment. You need ID for cars. You need ID for a lot of things. You need ID for business, ID for offices, ID for everything. It requires that freaking ID. Even to be able to walk into any government facility, you have to have some type of ID. And in order for you to have that, you have to show that you have some form of citizenship here in the United States. And you clearly just stated right here, I don't have any papers. I don't exist in the United States. And if you want to sit there and say, well, that email was sent by somebody else, that's not my email. Let's see. Let's go to the very top. Let's click on this. Let's see what email came from. There. That's Crow's email, crow1176@gmail.com. I know, because I've received emails from you before. That is your email. See, the interesting thing about Hotmail or Gmail, you can't make the exact same duplicate email ever. You can make something close enough to it, like you can put down like Crow 1176, um, uh, 11, but it's not the original. You can't copy the original. That's the original email. I came from you. Besides, you got pinged. The minute it came over, you got pinged. So it traced right back to your internet provider, right into your building, right that address you're at. That's where it pinged right back to. That's you. You sent that over. You sent it over in a desperate attempt because you're scared. Oh, I'm not this, I'm not that. I'm an American citizen 1 minute, I'm not an American citizen. I'm an American citizen one time, I'm not an American citizen. Oh, when I'm committing crimes and ripping people off at the end of the day, then at the end of the day, I'm an American citizen. When it's time to go to court and all that other nonsense, oh, I don't exist, I'm not an American citizen, you can't find me at all. You treat this country like your own personal playing ground. That's what you do. And you people at the end of the day who supported that nonsense, like I said, we don't consider you your citizens. We consider you traitors of the United States. That's what you supported right there. That's the guy you came in and sent nonsense to my account calling me at the end of the day a traitor of the U.S. And this guy right here had you basically wrapped around his finger the entire time. Came in here, ripped off your country, made idiots of you guys. He couldn't care less about any of you guys. He think you guys are stupid. How else would a guy sit there in an apartment, sit on a bed, and say he moved and lied to his entire fan base? He thinks you're stupid. Dumb enough to buy that house paint you guys bought at the end of the day. Nothing more than just house paint. Literally sent them back. He didn't add that in there too. He sent them back his own paint. What did he do? He turned around and sent it back to us. That's what we call it the refusal. Matched in a video, which he didn't talk about in that one, we're in the Red Thrasher hoodie, where he matched. So badly that he removed the video off his account. You don't talk about that one either, did you? You didn't even talk about anything about, you talk about you can't be touched. What about the whole copyright thing? Copyrights, trademarks, ripped off your and my American companies. And companies overseas, of course, also. And you get mad at me at the end of the day because we say it's fan base. Literally, does not have the knack and conversation of a common fruit fry, and you get upset over that? Look at the person you follow at the end of the day. You follow a fool, you become the fool. You follow the person that came to the United States and ripped off the United States. You might as well just lay a flag down and just basically just tread all over it, because that's literally what you allowed him to do. You probably would support that too. You supported everything else. You supported stealing from Stan Lee. Gee whiz, how do you steal from Stan Lee? And you guys got to have it called. He calls himself a Marvelous fan. He made a mockery of you guys on his. He made you guys look like idiots. And you guys sat there and supported him. And said, oh, fantastic video. Great video. Great video. That's why we call y'all sheep. And he just sat there and said he's not an American citizen. It's right there. How much more would you need at the end of the day? That's why I said you guys, they said they call him Mexican Trump and y'all the maggers. And you'll follow anything he'll do. Tell me that's not a perfect coincidence at the end of the day. And my Mexican people my Mexican brothers gave him the nickname Mexican Trump. Tell me that it's not a perfect coincidence of the maggers that follow Trump. And Trump does all this crazy stuff. And they support him on everything they want, including tearing down a White House. And over here, this guy does this kind of nonsense, comes over here, rips off our American companies, and makes money off of them. And these guys supported it. You're Mexican Trump matters. That's what you are. Brainwash. Well, brainwash or not, I'll see you in court. For those of you who be caught, and now it's going to cost you $1 million. So now we're going to up the ante. Remember what it says, we can sue for any amount of money we want. So now it's going to cost you $1 million per troll. Keep it up. We'll go a little higher than that. And if you think at the end of the day that we're not going to get you, oh, yeah, we're definitely going to find you. There's no doubt about it. We're definitely going to find you. This guy's already, I told you, when the ship starts to sink, the rats start to jump ship. And they start carrying on. Look at that he just sent us. That's a gold mine right there. I don't exist in the U.S. and can't even put the abbreviations down for U.S. correctly. I told you, those two people are the same person. Literally, right here. That act doesn't even exist. I looked it up. It doesn't even exist. It's a non-existing act. How are you going to take me to court for something that doesn't exist? Even bigger, you just said you're a United States citizen, but now right here you're not saying you're not a United States citizen. So which one is it? I think somebody has multiple personality complex disorder. I think there's several people living in Jamie's head. I'm going to post this to one of my forum sites so people can see this. Show that 1 minute this guy is here saying he's an American citizen, and here he says, I don't exist in the United States. Jamie, you know what that term stands for? If you don't exist in the United States, you don't just call it yourself, right? You're undocumented. That's what you are. That's what non-existing in the United States is. It's called undocumented. You just admitted it right there. And you say you don't have any papers, right? That's required. You know, and you go through customs, the first thing what they're going to say, you go through customs, papers. What are you doing here? What are you here for? You got to tell them, explain to them what you're here for. Here for business. Here for pleasure. Here for business, pleasure, whatever it is. They're going to ask you. Okay, they're going to look through your passport and all your stuff. And you got any ID on you? You pull your ID out, show them all this stuff like that. All right, cool. Stamp it. You go on right on through. There you go. So if I have to have a passport to go to another country, that means I have to have some form of paperwork on me to go pass over their border to be in their country. Anything pops off, the first thing they're going to ask me for is paperwork. So you're trying to tell me at the end of the day that a United States of America doesn't require paperwork for you to be here? Is that what you're saying? And you can come over here and do whatever you want, and us as American citizens have to sit back and endure it because, you know, you're from another country and you can do whatever you want. Right there, it's written in the email. We can't touch him because he says he doesn't have any papers and he doesn't exist in the U.S. But one point up here, you're saying you do exist. So which one is it, Sarah? Because it seems like you have multiple personalities. There was a movie way back. That's why people talk about Sarah and multiple personalities. There was a movie literally back in the 70s called Sarah. A girl had something like 14 or 15 multiple personalities stuck in her head. It's crazy. But anyway. Yeah. I mean, you got a few people living. I think it's crowded in there right now. I think it's really, really crowded in there, like Herman's Head. It's really crowded in there. So thank you, Fernando. I appreciate that. I printed up your email so we can take this over to courts. Now, them reading this, there's a good possibility they may call Homeland Security. And then you will have an ICE unit on that apartment. Matter of fact, not even there. You have an ICE unit down here to arrest you and transport you out. Either way, whatever happens, I'm good with it, 100%. So, you better hope that they don't take this one the wrong way. I don't exist in the United States. Gee whiz Louise. Man. You couldn't be more clear than that. Now, all you people who sat up there and said, oh, he's an American citizen and you're wrong and you're racist and this, that, and the other. How you feeling right now? Did Jamie throw you under a bus? You think he cleaned the bus? Well, he's known for doing that kind of stuff. He's known for throwing people under buses. I feel sorry for people that are close friends to him, like McAfee, Rogers, and all them. Boy, he's going to testify against you. And there's all kinds of stuff he's going to spit up on you. Especially since Williams does not like Rogers at all. So those two are definitely going to be going at it in there. Oh, it's a big mess you guys got yourself into. See, when I asked the Lord to bring you to justice, that came just in time too. I mean, we had enough to prosecute you, of course, but that sweetens the pot by so much it's not even funny. Mind you, you posted pictures of me on Facebook saying I was racist and because I contacted ICE, right? That's what you said, right? And I'm suing you for that, right? And also to file criminal charges against you for that, right? So you just admitted there by saying you're not. How does that work? How does that work, Jamie? You just said that I am a racist person because I called ICE. You called ICE because you're a criminal and you don't have documents. But you just said it right there. You don't have documents. You said you don't have papers. Papers are documents. That's what it is. So, if you just said you don't have paperwork here and you don't exist in the United States, then you just called yourself undocumented. What else would it be? Would that mean you are documented? No, it would mean you're documented. So that means that what we said on the YouTube channel was 100% right. Because even you made it yourself, right? What they said the term for it? Right from the horse's mouth. I'm going to start picking out this shade of black I want for my truck. Jamie, you can't afford this truck, costs way too much money. But I do know for a fact that the apartment complex is also too involved in all this mess at the end of the day, because they allowed Mr. Williams to carry on. And Mr. Williams is also deeply tied with Crow at the end of the day. Makes it so much easier for us to be able to get that $20 million now settlement. Oh, it's going up. It's going up by a lot. A lot. Got a conspiracy charge going to be going through pretty soon, which means all you guys are involved. This makes everything go through the roof. So, Fernando, you explain that to your customer base at the end of the day. How you screamed and yelled that we're racist and we're this and we're all these things and posted my picture and saying I'm a oh, you even said in the email. The email's right here. Where's the email at the top? He called me racist. I mean, there we go. Right there. That's the caption right there. Yeah, right there. So Jamie, everybody's racist. Well, basically, basically takes him to court or prosecutes him for him stealing and robbing, do whatever he wants to do. If you get in his way, then you're considered to be racist. Fernandez is not going to go well for you. At the end of the day, I told you, when I sent the email to what I say, dumbest thing you could have ever done was send me that email. So at the end of the day, Fernando, I want you to remember, these are the last things that you're going to ever hear from me ever again. I'm going to talk about this again, yeah, of course. But I mean, this is going to play in your head. You are going to spend the remaining of your time on this earth in lockup. Do you understand me? Do you know how many people are coming against you on this thing? A lot. And the fact that you just admitted that you're not a citizen, which means that an ICE unit can be called at any given time. The judge can get one. The prosecutor can get one. It says it right there. You said right there. You said you don't have paperwork, and you said that I don't exist in the United States. What else would that mean? The thing about you, Fernando, that I find interesting is that you constantly go Karen mode, and then you tell on yourself. This is something that you do. Like the whole Network Race 773 and the Cinemax mixed. Where we clearly showing videos, which I can't wait to show the post office about that, about how you sent this over paint that we didn't order, and we won the PayPal complaint against you, of course, and you sent over black paint. Now, am I saying all your customers? No, not all your customers. And I really technically can't say anyone on, because there could be people on this account that could ignore him, but the fact that you're on this account and you're a subscriber clearly shows you're a traitor to the U.S. Because you are. You can say, I'm not, you are. You got a person who literally just said he's undocumented. And he's sitting there stealing from American companies, including the late legend Stan Lee, and you supported it. What else would you call it? What if a guy came over and said, hey, I'm going to show you how to make bombs to blow up government facilities? You're going to support that too? Gee whiz Louise. But anyway, you clearly stated this, that you are not a citizen. But you went on your channel, you ran, so you have a habit of doing this stuff. But getting back to the Cinemax, a customer saw this, was upset, because he said that if you do business, you do it right. You send the person what they ordered. And he was very upset with Fernando, and he sent us his own paint to us. I offered to pay for it. He said no. He apologized for your actions. We got the paint here. We open it up. Fernando goes into this huge fit. That's not my product. My labels don't look that way. He made that stuff at the end of the day. It's all fake. I would never match house paint. Never, ever. That's what you said, right? Now, this went on for months. We did the demonstration. Okay, then you do it yourself. If you don't believe us, do it yourself. And he refused to do it. He went in full-blown Karen mode until his customers started doing it, and they were contacting him and saying, hey, buddy, your stuff is matching. So now he gets mad at his own customer base, and he decides to do it. Because now they got to be liars, too. Anyone that comes against him, they're all liars. No matter what, evidence can be right there, they're all liars. So then he goes and does the demonstrations. We see in the video, he holds the container, he holds it up and down. He goes, yeah, for you know, when he got right, the paint does make good primer. Like your product was anywhere different. And what happened when it matched? Oh, here we go with the freaking tap dance and jump through freaking rings of fire and hurdles and stuff. He was on there tap dancing, literally up there tap dancing, trying to jump in front of the screen, block the screen, put his hands up on the screen, trying to discourage people from seeing it, knocked over the camera, all kinds of stuff. He was going through it up there. It matched, didn't it? Matched so well that we got you in a live stream removing the video. Both of them. Did it with the Bear silver screen too. But he went to that whole rant. It would never match. And it did match. And you refuse to basically acknowledge that. You're known for this stuff, man. You're known for doing stuff, going into full Karen mode, and then turn around and telling yourself. So you went into full Karen mode. You started ranting about how we're racist because, you know, we're singling you out because you're Mexican. You just skipped that whole counterfeiting ring you have in your apartment, right? So that just never happened, right? None of that never happened. That whole counterfeiting ring never happened. That's what you're saying at the end of the day. Everything we just saw, you print out and steal from people, just never happened at all. Having a process server come to your front door for copyrights, and that just never happened, right? You know what I mean? Swindle your customers and stuff, make matching house paint, just never happened, right? Because that's how you act. You act like it never even happened. And you just go on and continue and talking like it never happened. You're Mexican Trump, by the way. You're perfect Mexican Trump. He is. It never happened. What are you talking about? That's Ray's favorite line. What are you talking about? I never heard that before. It's the first time I ever heard that before. That's your favorite line right there. So, with that being said, it did happen, Fernando. But the difference is what you're about to face pretty soon. You're not going to face YouTube, and that's going back and forth. You're going before a judge. If you're an American citizen, as you claim you are, right? We have no problem seeing you in court defend yourself in a lawsuit. And then when the criminal charges come up, we have no problem seeing you there. But, oh, you're not going to show. Now, 100%, and I'm pretty sure everybody else now is convinced, except for the brainwashers, that you are going to get a bench warrant on you. You file the criminal charges, you're going to be a no-show. Because you said you don't have any paperwork. You can't get through TSA without a paperwork. Airport security, you're not going through there without proper paperwork. That means if you don't have any paperwork and you don't exist in the United States, you're not going through TSA. And if you can't get through TSA, when those court processors get to your front door, then that means you will have an automatic bench warrant, which means you will be arrested by Baldwin Police Department and you will be transferred here to Allentown to be put into a prison system or jail over there until your court date comes up. So that's definitely going to happen to you. No way around it. Now, when I get done, I'll show you the document from the court showing that we did file. And it begins. That's it. Also, I'll point out to the judge that she's going to ask about this. What does this mean? You're going to read it. It's like, is he illegal? See what I mean? You just opened up another Pandora's box on yourself. Because now I can't sit there and lie in court. I'm under oath. When I'm telling that judge, I can't lie. I'm not going to lie for you. No, it's not. So you know what that's going to trigger off. But you did it to yourself. You sat there and said you don't have paperwork, right? How else would you take this? Making a statement, I don't have paperwork, I don't exist in the United States. You're undocumented. That's what it stands for. It's right there. Currently residing in the United States without legal paperwork. You have that paperwork to be here. Meaning I am not registered in a federal or state record due to this lack of lack of official document, I am considered to be undocumented, an undocumented immigrant. That's what you are. That's what you just admitted in the paperwork, right? Or right over here, the email. You just admitted that you are undocumented. And you know what that brings up? These guys. You just admitted right there. And I say we made the email up. That's your email. There's no way in the world I can make that up. There's no way in the world, virtually impossible, I can make another email like yours. It's impossible. That is you. You just admitted that you're undocumented. I do not possess records provided by the United States. You don't have them. So that means at the end of the day, you're undocumented. Just like I said you were. Because it was there. All the telltale signs were there, Fernando. You don't leave the state at all, period. You stay. Every time you've been here for how long? You never left the state. Then on top of that, your apartment is congested like crazy. It's packed with stuff. The average person's gonna have stuff in their apartment, but not like that. It's like you've been hoarding in there. That's what it looks like in there. There's just so many things that adds up to this, man. It's so many red flags. And who the freak hits a copyright that many times? Unless a person feels that they can't be touched because they don't have paperwork. A person hits a copyright one time and they freak out. You hit that thing 167 times each at most. You feel like you said, good luck having a process server. And that's the part I don't understand. What do you mean good luck having a process server? We had a process server there. What are you talking about? We've done this already. Oh, that's why I said at the end of the day, what is wrong with you? We literally had a process server at your front door. You do know the guy who came to your door was a process server, right? That was posted to your door was a process server. So why would it be good luck finding a process server? We already been there already. That don't make any sense. See, this is what happens when you write emails in fear. So, you got out there and you try to slander the name of a Christian, right? That's what you did. You got out there and made false statements about me by saying I was racist and all these things, right? That's what you did, right? What did the Lord do? The Lord put it right, didn't he? You call yourself being slick and following the devil, as you usually do, which is sad, and it got put right, didn't it? Even the devil himself obeys God. He knows better. So it got put right, didn't it? So now it's out there that everyone's going to know that you stated in an email that you do not have papers in the United States and you don't exist because you wrote it yourself. So, with that being said, I was right when I said it. Now, as I said before, I don't want them at the building. I don't. I can make a phone call right now with that, what I just got. I can forward that right over to an agent. But I don't want them at the building at all, period. Because I want them away from the building. So, at the end of the day, that if you're lucky, this is going to be in courts anyway. It's going to be the courts anyway. Any chance you have of escaping this, you're not going to escape it now. Because if a judge sees this, he or she, and they read through this, they're going to look at you like, what do you mean you don't have paperwork? See, by you getting the bench warrant on you and then bringing you in, still they're going to have to go do background checks for ID and all that. But most likely, chances are, they might just toss them over. Like, look, it ain't my problem. I'm not getting involved in this. Just give them to them. And they'll pick you up. They'll take you over here. They already got you processed over there. They're probably just going to take the same paperwork and run it through the system over there on their side. There's a chance that might happen. I'm going to look into that to find out 100%. So after all that, they got to have someplace to put you. They're going to let you free in Allentown. They can put you in the jail. That's where you go. You go to jail. That's what that order's for. It's a warrant. Make sure you stay there. So this way, when the court date comes back up, you can basically go to court for that, whatever you're going to be sentenced for. And then they'll send you back there and you'll do your time. But we got to submit this document because we got to bring you out several times. And in this document we have here is email from you. You have clearly stated you're not a citizen. One of the, matter of fact, it's going to be sooner than that. One of the lawsuits I'm filing against you involving with the touching our Apex Gamer, but involves you going on YouTube and making statements that I'm racist. posting my picture and saying that I'm racist. So right now, you said that I'm racist because I call immigration, right? Well, if you have enough, Jamie, to prosecute you in court, that means you committed a crime. And if you committed a crime in the United States, that means you get deported, right? What happens to American citizens if we commit crimes? We go to jail, right? So at the end of the day, by you thinking that you're a citizen gives you the right to do what you want to do, that means every person sitting in the prison system right now should be let go. Because apparently Americans should not be allowed to be prosecuted for committing crimes. We know that's not so. Your story is just so backwards, man. It's so back and forth, back and forth. It's kind of like people who manipulate the Bible to basically benefit what they want to do. It's kind of like what it is. Well, clearly right here, you stated it right there. You said you don't have papers and you don't exist in the United States. Go to a third world country and make that statement in the middle of customs and say, yeah, I don't got papers and I don't exist over here. See how fast you get locked up. So that means that the statements that you said against me about being racist and how basically that we came after you because you're Mexican and you didn't do anything wrong, you got to be kidding me, right? You just ran that scam business out of that apartment, and you got nerve to go on camera, like Miss Karen, like I didn't do anything wrong, I'm innocent. All right, cool. You're sitting in front of a judge. And I got you right there saying that you don't have paperwork. And this is what it stands for. I put down, make it a statement, I don't have paperwork, I don't exist. It says it right here. You are undocumented. Every document that comes, any person that comes here to the United States gets to have paperwork. That's what the whole thing about getting your citizenship. You get a certificate that you got a citizenship of the United States, and this means you're eligible for stuff that we have now. You're not going to come over here and not have a Social Security card. If you don't get a Social Security card at the end of the day, how are you going to do stuff? There's nothing you can do. You can't even file your taxes without that thing. So yeah, you have to have one. So you just stated you don't have one. You told on yourself right there. I don't have one. There you go. No paperwork. For all you people on his channel at the end of the day, there it is right there. I'll leave it right there. You read through that over and over and over again. He just submitted it right there. So enough. Plus, again, illegal aliens don't have papers. Yes, they do. The ones that have citizenship in the United States do. Why do you think they have lawyers for all that stuff to get their citizenship while they're here? You're trying to make a statement like no aliens, nobody who comes from another country have paperwork? Yes, they do. All of them got paperwork when they come over here. They got to go get it. Some come over here on work visas. Some come over here on school visas. They have paperwork. That's paperwork. Even a passport. That's paperwork. And then say you don't exist. So what's that mean if you don't exist? That means all your customers you ripped off at the end of the day. Guys you trusted, or ladies you trusted, with your personal information like your address and where you live at and all that stuff. He has all your information now in a PayPal account that you can get access to and get your information out. Which means he can commit identity theft on you now. Ah, there you go. It sinks in. There you go, there you go. It's kind of be too late to shut that thing down now. It's going to be a bit of a headache now. Should have did it when I told you to. But you're always saying like, nah. You sound racist. He's an American citizen. All right. Go with that. Good luck with that nightmare. If you own your house, then, well, if we're suing, you won't own that. But anyway, if you do own your house and you're caught up in that nonsense, somebody pops up at your door, says some weirdo at the end of the day, chances are this guy's got your information. You could have sold off your information to somebody at the end of the day, probably to get a few, something he may need. You got a bargaining chip when he goes in. Everybody needs a bargaining chip when you go into the system. And his bargaining chip at the end of the day is he has a bunch of addresses that date back to 5 years back, probably farther than that, of information that he could pull out of a PayPal account on a cell phone. All he's got to do is just log in with his information and his password, and he has access to your information. Didn't we tell you about this stuff? We did, didn't you? Oh, well. Go outside, make yourself one of those contraptions that you put a boot on with a rope and just kick yourself right in the butt. Because you don't have any money, not when we get done with him, and not when the other lawyers get done with him for faking that whole copyright and trademark stuff and that on top of that table. They're going to sue the daylights at him for that. And you're going to get jail time for it. For touching those trademark items. You think Disney's not going to come in and hit him? Disney will mess around. You basically use the color of one of their products. You got anything that matches anything in their stuff to come and get you. Disney don't play around with that. So, yeah. Ain't got nothing to barter with. Gonna barter with your address. Well, he will never do anything like that. He sat there and lied to him and told you he was an American citizen. He wasn't the whole entire time. So what were you thinking, Fernando, when you sent this over? Oh, of course, you weren't thinking. You weren't thinking at all. You weren't thinking at all when you sent it over at all, period. I looked at it, I was like, gold mine. Thank you. This is fantastic. This is right before we go file against you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Now, you can't get any more dumber than that. And you had a nerve to call me dumb A at the end? Really? And then after you posted that, do you call me a dummy? Really? Jamie, you have nowhere to go. If you haven't left the States since you've been here, you have no place to go. Most people, when they come into something, they, even with the money you made out of the stealing from the companies, you still couldn't get a house. You don't have paperwork. Can't really get an apartment because right now, the way everything's going right now, you gotta stay where it's safe, and you're gonna stay in that apartment because it's safe in that apartment because the landlord allows you to be there. And I think the landlord knows 100% about your situation. That's why the apartment looks like that. That's why it's blocked. That's why it doesn't come up with a name or location. That's why it was so hard for us to track him down, get information on him. But that's going to be his problem at the end of the day with the lawsuits. And that's the reason why we want to make sure that if Homeland gets called on this, that they're not anywhere near that building. Because this is your problem at the end of the day. No, nobody else. It's just yours. But I'm happy to be able to out you to everybody on YouTube in the world. Because you know this once we basically drop this video, it hits Google, hits it, and it goes everywhere. And then for you making a statement about how we erase our videos, that's what you said, right? There you go. All I gotta type in is suing Jamie Fernando Gonzalez. We got it right here. These are videos right here, Jamie. Touching the CCB, all that. All this is all you. All you. All you. This is all you. It goes all the way up to 10. All you. Right? That's all you, right? So you said erase what videos? We've been saying this for quite some time. So, today, you just proved something very valuable. Number one, you just admitted you don't have paperwork. You're undocumented. That's what you said. The same thing we said you were. So basically, the statement you made about me being racist, I'm going to use that when I file against you tomorrow. And I'm going to show them that you went and posted pictures of me all over YouTube, including all the other stuff you were doing, the doxing addresses, all that stuff. This is going to lead to criminal charges. The judge is going to ask, hey, this is farther than basically just a basic lawsuit that you filed. Yeah, we did. We filed with FBI and Allentown Police. So they're going to contact them, and they could get a prosecutor, open it up, get a warrant right away for you. So anything could happen in that courtroom. But the important thing is that 1 minute you say you're a citizen, 1 minute you say you're not a citizen. Either way, you're going to show up in court. But from what I've seen in that last tidbit of the message at the end, you're not a citizen at all, Jamie. You're not at all. You don't have documents. You clearly stated it right there. Clearly stated it. You're not a citizen. And if you're not a citizen, Fernando, that means you're getting a bench warrant. You can't make it through TSA. You've got to have paperwork to go through TSA. And ain't one person that can move through TSA airport security without any paperwork, nothing at all. It don't work that way. That's how we knew the truck was in somebody else's name. When I sat there and said on camera, and I said that vehicle was in somebody's name, and he probably ran to like, he don't know what he's talking about. How did you get a vehicle with no paperwork? can't just walk into a dealership and say, hey, I want a car, give money, blah, blah. No, you can't do that. You got to show some information of who you are. Where's this car going to? Who's this registered to? It got to be registered, right? I bet you $100 you're still walking around with the dealership tags on them. You can only use those for so long. Some people put in the window waiting for tags, stuff like that. And then the officer's going to tally up how long you had the vehicle, depending on how long it takes to get tags, and you get your vehicle towed. Fernando, you're your worst enemy. You are your worst enemy. You are. Look at that. Look at that. Look at all the trouble the devil got you into. And you're still following him. See, I said, he hits this crossroads, man, I got a bad feeling. But then again, I forgot about that. You did something you weren't supposed to do. See what I mean? No respect for God. You have no respect for God whatsoever. When we had that find and seek God, you thought to make a joke out of it because it's funny. That's what you thought, right? That was a big old joke, right? The mockery about God at the end of the day. You thought that was hilarious, right? So that's what you did, right? You wanted to make a mockery of God on that find and seek God, and then you did that whole thing as reigning men, using the highest praise that you can give God and intertwining that into it, which is blasphemy. So Fernando, for most people will have the opportunity to be saved. I think you lost yours. I think you lost your ability to be saved. And I'm going to tell you something. You can accumulate all the wealth in the world. Doesn't mean jack at the end of the day. Because sooner or later, you'll pass off this earth and all that wealth will stay here. What matters is when you hit the next world. Not here. This is just temporary. Everything here is ball. You can be the richest man in the world. But when the time comes, you can't buy a minute more of life. What is what is. And if it's your time, it will be your time. There's no way around it. You have to face it. When you pass into the next life, all your wealth, your fame, all that will stay here in this world, and you'll be in the next world for forever, for eternity. And you traded all that for what's in this world, but you can't take with you. That really technically has some value to it. To tell you the truth, it really doesn't. That's what you traded it all for. So everything you said in here, I backed up 100%. Everything you said, you couldn't back up. Oh, right here. Got it right here. Now, these are my replies back to Fernando. What I say back to him. See you in court, which is true. We will see you in court, right? See you in court. I will print and share this with the courts, which I will. I got it right over there for that. When I file the lawsuit and criminal charges, because you left out criminal charges. You only put in a lawsuit. There's criminal charges also involved in this. Against you, including the trademark violation, unlawful use of a 3D printer, which you did violate. Let's see, let's see, violation and tampering with our copyrights, which you claim in the, which one you said they were not real. So good, we challenge you on that in court too also. And all criminal charges that, and all criminal charges that were filed against you, including with the FBI, involved with Mr. Derek Williams. That's under another open investigation because you guys know each other. And the others, which means that's McAfee, Rogers, all that. You guys will be included in that. I look forward to seeing you in court. I strongly advise you to get yourself a lawyer. Second one, the fact that you sent me an email with that much criminal evidence against you clearly shows you are not that intelligent. You sent me a buttload of stuff, man. I don't know what you call yourself doing, but you have made a serious mistake emailing me. Which you did, because now we can show the courts that you emailed me the day before the filing with all these crazy statements, basically saying you're not don't have paperwork, you can't be touched, and our copyrights aren't real, and the stuff we have is made. Yeah, you really messed up. Let's see. Doing it, a serious mistake. Emailing me, citizen or not, you're going to jail. It's before I read through that email. You're going to jail and you're getting sued. We have enough information to send another process server to your front door. This time you will show up in court. See you soon. So, we already been there already. Why do I? That's what I read at the top. When I skimmed through it, I was like, what the freak is he talking about process server? And when I went over the whole thing through, I was like, oh. He just admitted he was undocumented right here. Now I'm going to show this email to several people today. See what their opinion's going to be on it. I bet you every single one says, you just said you're undocumented. After we received posts on your YouTube channel of my face calling me racist, and you saying multiple times here, and the email we got here saying you're a citizen, because you said right here you're a citizen, right? Unfortunately, like you're trying to talk like a lawyer or something. Unfortunately, do you understand that unfortunately Jamie Fernando is a citizen? But right here you say you're not a citizen. So which one is it, Fernando? Fernando and the lies of Fernando. Yep. Lies of Fernando. I don't exist in the United States. You don't have any, it's supposed to be patents, by the way, or copyrights with an S. So, enough. Plus, again, illegal aliens don't have paperwork. Yes, they do. You know what that makes me when I go over to another country? I'm an alien over there. That's what I am. Because I'm not from there at all, period. So with that being said, when they pull me over and they say, paperwork please, I got to show paperwork. Now, if I got my citizenship there, that's different. I got citizenship here in Switzerland. All right, cool. Then I'm a citizen of Switzerland. That's what I am. But if I don't have any paperwork, they're going to deport me back over here. They go through a background check and say I haven't committed any crimes, then they'll send me back to the United States. But if it shows at the end of the day that I did commit crimes, then I'm going to stay here to be prosecuted for those crimes. And then when I've served my time out, then I can go back to the United States. Fernando doesn't understand how the system works at all. You know why? Because you're not from here. So now I can clearly state on my channel, anytime I want, that you do not have documents here. Now, if you're going to sit there and say at the end of the day, well, you know, that's... No, Jamie. You're different from other people that are undocumented. Other people that are undocumented don't come here and do the dumb stuff that you do at all. They're not going to court for being hit with basically copyright infringement, trademark infringement, terroristic threats. They're not being hit with any of that stuff at the end of the day. Doxing addresses, cyber stalking, cyber harassment. You're not being hit with any of that. You are. That's what separates you, Karen, got to call him Karen because that's what he is. That separates you from other people that come here to United States. They come here and don't break the law. You come here, you're part of the part that does come here and break the law. So if you just sit there and say, I'm equal to them, that deserves a slap in the face on your side because you deserve to be slapped for that one. So you mean to tell me any undocumented or documents here in the United States that have come here to try to get a better life, Fernando Gonzalez is clearly saying that you and him are both, you or her are both the same. They're going to look at you like you have lost your mind. I am nothing like you. That's like somebody over here saying, okay, I'm a criminal, I'm a career criminal. You and me are the same. No, we're not. I don't get in trouble like that. I ain't about that. I don't do that kind of stuff in the day. Most people say I got in trouble one time, done. End of it. Done. Not like you. I'm nothing like you. Did my time, got out, cleans with some good. Do you know what my background is? It's clean as was nothing there. I sent me to rent all these places. Got good credit on top of that. My background check is clean. Ain't nothing on it. Not a thing. And you guys be sending over stuff talking about I've been scamming people for all these years. If I've been scamming people for all these years, how am I able to get away with it from all these years? No one caught me. No one busted me. Never went to jail. Nothing at all, period whatsoever. And my background check, my criminal pack, it's clean. Nothing on it. Not a thing. There's nothing there. That's what they check when I come here. They always got to check those background checks. Everybody got to check background checks. So if I had all this stuff on me, right, for you enough for you to contact the building and warn the owner that he's a scammer, you got to get him out of the building, they do background checks on everybody that come through here. There's nothing on me. He said, man, got the cleanest counter I've ever seen. There's nothing on there. Nothing. I'll make sure we tell the judge about that before we file a lawsuit against the individual who made that statement. That's going to cost you some money. So if he's afraid at the end of the day and he's sending us stuff like that, I know darn well at the end of the day you trolls are terrified right now what's about to happen to you. Well, you brought it on yourself. I just want you to remember that. Don't get too attached to anything. And don't do what this guy told me. He had nothing. Well, he says nothing in his name. This is another part that kills me right here. I have nothing in my name. So wait, how in the world are you a citizen and you don't have anything in your name? He said, I'm a legal alien, correct. But he just said right there, you're not. And again, about the person serving you. Jamie, they were already there. We've done this one already before. This is the same person coming back out. See, that's why I say you can't cut people like this a break. I should have opened up that case and hit you again. And I call myself trying to give you a break. You don't appreciate when somebody trying to do you a favor. If you had walked away from that, we would never be at this point right now. And he says it again right here. He says, how are you going to serve someone? How are you going to serve someone that has no records, doesn't exist in the United States? What else we have here? It's right here. The U.S. wrong again. I have everything under somebody else's name because, like you, I am illegal. No, you're not. Because people are legal don't have everything in someone's name at the end of the day. They got stuff in their name at the end of the day. So that means your utilities, bills, and all that stuff are in somebody else's name because you can't get utilities. Utilities require social security numbers. Oh, we got to dig into all that now. Well, we got work to do. I got a buddy of mine, again, he's cyber. He's going to go in, he's going to dig through all your stuff now. Dig through utility bills, all that stuff. Everything in that apartment complex, going to dig through it. How are utility bills paid in there at the end of the day? It's included. If electricity is included, that means the landlord pays for it. But not everything is included. You got to have some bills in there you got to pay. Yeah, you got to dig through all that. You left so many red flags in here, man. So many red flags that have to be taken down. We have to go in and go look through stuff now. But you already stated you don't have paperwork. And people usually don't have paperwork, have people's names and other stuff. That's what they do. But again, Fernando, what do you mean by other stuff? You don't own a house. If you own a house, that's something somebody can put in their name. If you own a car, that's something somebody can put in someone's name. But the stuff you have in your apartment wouldn't be under somebody else's name. That's like if I purchased that monitor right there, how would it be under somebody else's name? I paid for it. Do you understand what I'm talking about here, everybody? So when they come to that apartment, they're going to take your projector, your speaker system, all your little collectible toys. They're going to take all that. They're going to clean all that out of there. That's under whose name at the end of the day? They're going to take that. It's your possessions, and they're going to take it. The 3D printers, take that too. Now as for the vehicle, well, you can't keep it anyway. You're not going to be here to pay for the vehicle anyway. You're going to jail. When the lawsuit goes through, you're a no-show. Then we go file for criminal. And you don't show up because you clearly said you don't have paperwork, right? So that's an automatic bench warrant. We know you're going to get the bench warrant 100%. So if that's the case, who's going to make sure the truck is paid for? Come and take your vehicle. And if they see the truck up there and you owe money, they're going to figure exactly who owns it because they're going to try to take the truck. So I don't even know how that's supposed to work for you. Gee whiz, man, I could not make this up. Many times I've been on YouTube, I sit there and say, I cannot make this stuff up. Can't make it up. When we get done with the courts and all, I'm going to post this email everywhere. You can post it now, to tell you the truth. I got to show my people this mess. I said, he just admitted he don't have paperwork. And I know people in customs, you know that, right? So you know. You just submitted in an email. An email is tied to your account. So you just said right there. So how are you going to explain that one? What lie are you going to come up with that one to try to cover up that one? Oh, I didn't really say it that way. No, you said it that way. It's right there. You definitely said it that way. There's no way around it. How else? How other way would you say that? I don't exist in the United States. You don't even know how to abbreviate it right. I don't have any papers. How else would you put that? Well, Fernando, I'll see you in court with this new evidence we have here. If there is a good chance of you being skipped and not being processed by Homeland, you just made that one possible for yourself. Because the minute they get this document at the end of the day, they're going to look at that like, what do you mean he says he don't have any paperwork? Clearly, anybody can see it right there, what you just said. So they sit there and says, is he saying anything on the document? I go, yeah, we had a file. We had a file with freaking Homeland Security 5 times about him. So if you're over here already, what they're going to do, they're going to contact them to come pick you up. If you even had the opportunity of being skipped on that, you made it known now. You put it out there. All right, that being said, I got to go. I got things to do. That being said, Jamie, we'll see you in court real soon. Got to go, and God bless.